I didn't think I'd be making another interview with a vampire video this quick, but my hand was kind of forced because of Google taking steps to hide what I showed you in the first video. And that's if you put interview with in, comes up instead of the, as I showed you. Well, they've taken some steps to change that now, and the reason I'm making this video is to show that Google is complicit in hiding up this glitch with the vampire movie. And you know, I think about it as there's a lot of books out there. What if someone told you the Lord of the Rings is now a Lord of the Rings? You'd say that you're crazy. Go and you'd search it on Google, and sure enough, a Lord of the Rings comes up everywhere you see it instead of the Lord of the Rings. Probably drive you a little crazy if you're a fan of Tolkien. Well, that's exactly how us fans of Anne Rice are taking this interview with a vampire thing. The exact same way as if it was a Lord of the Rings instead of the Lord of the Rings, because you know that it's the Lord of the Rings. And for it to become a Lord of the Rings, something very, very strange would have had to have happened, which it did. It did happen, and it's the Mandela effect. And like I said in the last video, it's not people misremembering things. There's something deeper going on here. I like this. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. Well, right now, by our count, it's one. You died once, got back up again, and it'd be nice to see you again, Nelson, but I don't think it's going to happen. Who knows? Died twice, third time's the charm. You know, the only thing I really remember about Nelson Mandela's death is Obama and these bozos taking selfies at his funeral. That's the memory I'm always going to have about Nelson Mandela's dying, is these jackasses making a big joke out of it. So maybe these people know it's a big joke that he's alive and dead and alive and dead. So I showed you in my last video that if you put in interview with, a vampire comes up instead of what should come up, the vampire. And slowly and surely, it looks as though Google is fixing this. So, like I said, they're complicit in this. They're hiding this from us. They're changing these. Well, I'm not that dumb. There's different ways, and I'll show you that it's now the vampire when you search for with the suggested Google suggestions. I'll show you it's the now. This is 3 days after I made my first video. Google's jumped in and changed it. You know, they got to get rid of their bodies, and they got to get someone to do it. But they only got rid of one body. There's plenty of bodies still out there that show evidence of their crimes, of not the crimes, but of this glitch, of this interview with a vampire glitch. And I'll show them to you. I'll show you how that works. So we want to go to Google again and put in interview with again and look at it 3 days after I did it the first time. And you can see now Google's changed it. The corrupt scumbags at Google are covering up this Mandela effect with interview with a vampire. Well, how can we get the back? Well, I put in full movie, interview with, and look at full movie of interview with a vampire. Watch full movie, interview with a vampire. It's still there. And I'll show you better versions. What if we put in, well, here it is. Boom. Erase full movie, and boom, the pops back up again. Download interview with. Download interview with a vampire. Where's the? Only in Hindi can you get the there. And it shows you that Google's only covered up a little bit of this deception. They didn't get, and look at this, Anne Rice interview with. It's all over the place. Anne Rice interview with a vampire series, a vampire read online, a vampire quotes, a vampire book series, a vampire Claudia story, a vampire first edition, a vampire movie. Why? Why would that be? What could possibly cause Google's suggested results to show only A's in that section when you put Anne Rice interview with? And if you're Anne Rice and you happen to possibly see this and you think it's honey, it's not. And I don't care who you are, whether you're Anne Rice or someone or Antonio Banderas. I don't care who you are. If you think it's you're wrong. That's a bold statement to tell Anne Rice that she doesn't know what the title of her book is, isn't it? That's a pretty bold statement. I'm going to make that statement, and I don't really care. Because there are many of us who know that it's interview with a vampire. And Google doesn't know it anymore. They only kind of know it. And that's because they changed it. They changed it in the past 3 days since I made my first video. And my first video clearly shows you used to put in. And once again, search different versions of interview with, and you'll see that popping up all over the place still. They can't hide it. They didn't hide it very well. They hid it, but they didn't hide it very well. It's utterly bizarre what's going on here. I created a Facebook page called Interview with /the Vampire Mandela Effect. If any one of you viewers would like to come and hang out with me and discuss this topic, please find us on Facebook. And, we'll cover any of the Mandela Effect subjects that you'd like to cover on that site. It's not just limited to the vampire one. And of course, I delve deeply into the rabbit hole, and there's a number of subjects. If you'd like to reach me, you can reach me there. And thanks for watching once again. And don't be too hard on those people that say it's the vampire, because not everyone remembers it as Although I've asked about 30 people what it was, and they all said And of those 30 people, once I told them it's they changed their minds. They changed their minds and they said, oh, it is So how I don't understand where I can have a strong mind to know it's not true, and they have weak minds that fool themselves immediately upon learning that it's actually changing their entire memories of their entire lives because Google tells them that. And books and movies and DVDs tell them that, even though their memories are correct. It shows you the power that this Mandela effect has over people, and its ability to warp reality. And I don't know why I don't fall for the tricks and fall in line, and I don't know why there's certain ones of us that this hasn't tricked us. But for many people it has, and don't be too hard on those people. The heads should be nice to the heads, I think, because it's not their fault. Some of them are patrolling, but I think the majority that remember really do remember in their hearts. So we know they're wrong, or at least from a different reality than us. But I don't hold it against them when they say it's does it perturb me? Does it bother me a little bit when people come out and say that they remember it as Well, of course, but this I don't know everything about this Mandela effect, and I'm still meditating on it and learning about it. So until that time, and where I know they're all trolls or they're all fooling themselves, I'm going to be easy on them. So find me on Facebook. Spread these videos to your friends. Let them know what's going on. Your friends that don't believe any conspiracy theories kind of have to believe this Mandela effect one, because one of these subjects is going to touch one of them in one way or another, whether it's a word that they used to spell, whether it's Sex in the City. And I never watched Sex in the City. I could care less about that show. I never will watch it. But I know it's Sex in the City and not Sex and the City. I mean, someone that's never even watched it before knows the truth and knows the old reality. It's Sex in the City. It is. It's not Sex and the City. Thanks once again for watching.